Right, transfer talk this week again, ladies and gents. But for the first time, we're stuck inside. The weather this week has been absolutely shocking, so I'm not able to get outside and record this one purely because of the mic and camera and phone that I'm recording the video, the footage on will just get drenched. And it's not really great as well walking around with a sheet of paper in the rain, because you'll, after about 5 minutes, you won't be able to see what you've written on it. Anyway, so we're stuck inside for episode number 7, but that's no bother, because we've still got some great transfers to talk about. We'll get cracking first then with the news announced today, video put out earlier, about Ryan Longman signing for Hull City on a season-long loan from Brighton. I think that is a fantastic signing. Not one that we expected, but certainly one I'm very pleased about. Scored 9 and got 5 assists for Wimbledon last year. Rated very highly at Brighton, and there was supposedly a lot of interest in him. So he's done very well. McCann has done very well to get him tied down here. Hull Live reported earlier this week that McCann wanted to bring in a centre-back, a centre-mid and a striker before Preston on the opening day. Well, he's managed to get one of them. He just needs a centre-mid and a centre-back. And we're going to look at rumours for all of those positions over the next few minutes. So, this one was reported last week, but I reported it last week in Transfer Talk, but I'm gonna revisit it just because I've got a bit of an update for you. Or, well, have I really? You can be the judge of that. Terrell Thomas from AFC Wimbledon on a free. After that initial report, not much has happened, but one development I have got is that negotiations are apparently still in fairly early stages, so don't expect this one to happen within the next few days. Maybe expect it over the next week or so. According to the Sheffield Star, City have looked to put in a late move for midfielder Dennis Adeniran, who has just been released by Everton. He's very close to joining Sheffield Wednesday, may have done that. I'm not too sure at this moment in time. But City want to put a move in there nice and early. Well, nice and late. But better late than never, I suppose. Do I see this one coming off, seeing as he's so close to Sheffield Wednesday? Not really. I reported last week as well about this man there. Can I say there? There. Alistair McCann. I've just nearly whacked my mouse and mouse mat off my desk. Alistair McCann from St Johnstone. That was reported by The Sun, but the Scottish Sun have added a bit more to that report. City still want to sign Ali McCann, but the price tag is a bit of a stumbling block. McCann, Northern Irish international, 1 cap for his country. There's a link there. Played with Josh McGuinness. He played with Gavin White while White was at the club as well last season, and I've got a bit of an update on Gavin White for you. Coming up, McCann, I don't know too much about him other than the fact he's a central midfielder. That's all I can really say. But the price tag a stumbling block. You expect that. All of City's deals have been frees or loans so far this window. I'd reckon we'll see 1 or 2 in on fees. But I wouldn't expect to see more than that. Talking of ones in on fees, Slavisa Jokanovic, manager of Sheffield United, has supposedly blocked the transfer of Regan Slater to Hull City for now, until he has a good sit down with Regan Slater and has a talk about his plans for him. Now, we had a bid accepted for Slater earlier in the window, believed to be in the region of around £400,000. Very, very good deal for someone of Slater's promise, potential and talent right now. Back end of last season, he was fantastic for us and he's very highly rated at Sheffield United. It is because of that last point that Jokanovic wants to try and hold on to him, I reckon. But if Jokanovic has no future for him, or Slater sees that he wants to go, there's still that offer on the table. It is just on hold for now. But Slater, he could be the centre mid McCann goes for. That's it for centre-backs after Terrell Thomas, and now centre-mids after Regan Slater. On to some winger talk now. According to Darren O. Whitcoop, the sports editor for the Sunday Mirror, City do still want to bring back Gavin White from Cardiff on what would be a loan. However, Oxford, his former club back in League One, are also interested. White, I'd love to have back, was basically a better version of Hakeem Adelican last year. And that's all there really is. Fantastic player. Would be phenomenal to have him back because he can play on the right and on the left. And he played great backup to Wilkes and Lewis Potter last year. Played very well when needed, when started, whilst McGuinness was injured or whatever. And Northern Irish international as well, so we could have McGuinness, McCann and White in the playing squad, who are Northern Irish internationals, and the manager, Grant McCann, a former Northern Irish international as well, I do believe. Interesting. But Oxford still want him. White, I do believe, still has some affinity to Oxford, even though I think he'd rather come to us because we're playing at a higher level. According to the East Anglian Daily Times, you might recognise this name, Bersant Chelina. Ex-Man City, ex-Ipswich, ex-Swansea. He's now at Dijon, and he is on the thumbnail in the middle there in the Swansea kit. So we want him. He is apparently close to a move to Ipswich, back to his old club, but we're looking to hijack that deal. Top housery by City. Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. And he would be a fantastic signing. Would I rather him over Gavin White? I'm not too sure. But Chelina was fantastic for Swansea. And he's proven himself in the Championship. So would be a very, very decent signing indeed. Finally, journalist Johnny Hulme has said that Joe Pigott, AFC Wimbledon striker, just been released by them, turned down a new contract, is in talks with City, Preston and Derby. Now, after missing out in the race for Jack Marriott and having seen that Accrington have slapped a £2 million price tag on Dion Charles, Joe Pigott was the name a lot of fans said, saying, should we go for him now? Turns out, according to Johnny, we are in talks with him. We have just brought in Longman. We're close to bringing in Terrell Thomas. Could we complete the AFC Wimbledon trio by bringing in Joe Pigott? Now, he's a striker, and having brought in Longman, this seems unlikely. But Pigott had a fantastic season for Wimbledon last year. Their captain would be scoring that many goals down that end of the division. He's the reason they stayed up. There's no reason he can't do it at Championship level when he scored a lot more goals than Longman did. What are we saying? I wouldn't say no. What would you lot think? Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you this time next week for another episode of Hull City Transfer Talk. Goodbye.